Okay, so I want to circle this back because I'm going to square the peg here basically, which is at the end of the day, we have massive geopolitical shifts underway right now. The world is becoming sort of this deglobalization. What's going to happen to all these nations? Who are in the best positions to sort of come out of this? How does the world look 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now? I'm kind of curious to hear, like, again, this is a Canadian show, obviously. So how are you guys looking at this, not only from like the Canadian dollar perspective, but obviously I mean, we've got a lot of commodities for one. Number two is I think that we're going to see a lot of reshoring of supply chains. Hopefully, Canada starts getting back to that way and investing in research and development and some manufacturing here domestically, because that seems like it's becoming critically important. So is our energy policy. How are you guys viewing this? How do you view the Canadian outlook over the next 5 years, regardless of who's in power, politically? But I mean, do you think that we're in a good position here on a relative basis?
Yeah, I think on a relative basis, we won't be first up. But I think within the next, you said 3 to 5 years, Steve, I think there will be a significant restructuring of global debt around the world. I think that's what we're headed towards.
Bold.
If that doesn't happen, it means that we grow extremely slow, so that all entities can gradually continue to, because everyone has to issue more debt than they're able to service. They have to try to do that somehow. But Canada will not be up first in terms of restructuring, but it will be involved with it. I know you didn't say, but I will introduce something that's very extremely important that's happening right now on this side, because we have a lot of of course a lot of information, a lot of news coming out of Ukraine and Russia right now. But the Americans, they're going ahead with their digital asset policy, and it's under the guise that we have to put this in place, control crypto, so that that way the Russians won't be able to transact their economy and so forth. The Bank,
I think this regulation's bullish, by the way.
Yeah,
coming from a millennial.
Just letting you know, like the central banks around the world, including the Bank of Canada, they've been front and center. They want to come out with a central bank digital currency. Yep. And the reason they want to do that, because they can see is a bit of a crap show coming up here in the debt world. So they need to have everything lined up first to be able to support the system. So, yep. And again, this creates like incredible opportunities, and it's great for Canada because we won't be the first one to experience it. But I think anyone, if you do have the vision to see it, it'll be pretty good.
Rich, do you have any comments? Because I want to circle back. Like, I want to get your comments, and then I'll make it quick. I want to touch on something.
I'll make it quick. So I think Keith did a really good job. Agree or disagree with him. I think he did a really good job sort of framing it from a financial market perspective. I'm going to frame my answer just from a macroeconomic perspective, which is I think Canada's extremely well positioned. Despite the misgivings I have on obviously the housing market, debt, and stuff like that, I think we have extremely good population growth. That's good in general. That's really good for growth. We're really close to an enormous benevolent trade partner, mostly benevolent trade partner, and we're extremely well integrated with that trade partner. That's the U.S. They pay for all of our defense spending, so we don't have to, and so we get to be a free rider. And then the final three things, which is we have energy, shitloads of it. We have water, fresh water, shitloads of it. And we have raw material, so basic raw materials. So basically commodities, X energy, shitloads of it. Pardon me, I was told I shouldn't swear. Lots of it. And so, if Canada wants to exploit those resources in a safe and ethical way, the only thing standing in Canada's way is politicians unwilling to exploit our natural resources in a safe and ethical way. I think Canada is extremely well positioned. We have lots of real assets.
You left out one more thing that Canada
and we have lots of hockey players.
There's one more thing that you forgot to mention that Canada has a lot of.
Boomers.
Well,
Oh,
maybe.
I don't know. We have lots of foreign. I have no idea.
Debt. We have lots of debt. So
Yeah,
everything
I know, but you
listed,
said we were going to restructure the debt.
yeah, but on the way to get debt restructured, you got to come out the other side, and that's my point.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but what
it's-
no,
yeah.
I didn't. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was trying. I didn't want to disagree with you at all. I was just saying from a totally purely like a fundamental standpoint, like how can we
So
navigate?
one thing the Italians talk about quite a bit, and the Canadians don't do it too much, but the Italians have this incredible current account balance. So they sell a lot of stuff and then they buy less than what they have coming in. The Italians have a current account surplus.
For the first time in 10 years, but anyways,
No,
carry
they're
on.
pretty good. Yeah. And I had this conversation with a lot of Europeans. They're like, yeah, we're actually really awesome. And I said, no, that number means if you exclude all your debt, you're pretty good at what you're doing. And they said, yeah. I said, well, you have to include the debt. And then that's my point around the world. People that have too much debt, it is something is going to come up here. I know I'm sound pretty bearish here today. I don't mean to, but again, guys, we're at this stage where rates are going from 0 and higher. There's global conflict taking place. The energy markets have been just shut down. A lot of money can't flow through the Swift dollar system again. Like there's going to be some pretty big losers coming up, and capital is going to gush around as a result of it.
Boomer's seen a few things. So
I was wrong. Current account balance has been strong since 2012, since the crisis. That's right.
Wait.
Twinkie.
I was thinking
but
of Spain.
I mean, that kind of